Yeah.
It's just not the same without you at all, Don.
No, it sucks without you, Don. Recorded. I should have said that before.
I mean, we fall to pieces without you.
We miss you, Don.
I'm sure you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Oh, no, fantastic is not the word I'd use, but thank you.
We just kept it going, you know, just to make sure it still existed. But yep. you make the magic happen, Don, and you put everybody together and tell everybody what to do. So you're awesome.
And edit.
And edit. And actually get the stuff put out on after it's done. Yeah, hey, you need to heal up. I got a lot of work for you to do.
I figured that. But I'm going to be coming back to a lot of work.
Hey, I only took 1 week off, and I went back to work, and I was thinking about that pile of paper in front of me, and I was laughing. I was thinking, oh shit! Can you imagine what Don's going to go through when he gets back, and I dump all this on him? All right, we are live, so...
You said the S word, live.
We're live and we're alive.
I do all right for an old hillbilly from West Virginia. I'm not a hillbilly. Don, what am I?
You're a Mountain William.
I'm a Mountain William.
You're gargling, Chandra.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So, well, how was my time?
I think that was okay, Michael. It may have been a little lengthy, but I'm still awake, so you're doing fine.
Cool. I didn't put Alan to sleep. I got a thumbs up.
I'm so used to King James when you're doing those teachings like that. It's awkward for me, but it does shed new light on the verses that I'm well familiar with.
That one I did a little bit. I did probably different than I usually try to stick with one version, but I wanted to make a couple points. So I went from Shane Height's Bible, which is the REV, to the New American Standard. I was going to throw some King James in there because that one section where Luke says what he does in Luke chapter 1 as far as his writing really is confusing the way it's translated in the King James Version. Matter of fact, the way it's translated usually is what causes most of the confusion because he's going to give them the perfect order of things, like he's getting divine revelation of exactly what to write down. And that's just not what the context reads in the actual Greek.
One of the things I noticed is look at the language he uses. It changes once he gets Act 24 and Luke 24 and Acts 1. It's definitely starting to change. It's not all Israel, Israel, Israel. It's, well, look, guys, let's go get prepared and go to Jerusalem and, just hang out there. And it just seems to take on a different tenor. It's not that Old Testament point of view anymore. It's starting to change.
Great point. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The apex of that is when Jesus Christ says it's not for you to know the time or the season.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing.
Because in Matthew, I mean, they ask him the question, and he lays it out, man. This is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and actually just kind of says, hey, don't know about that new thing.
Now a parallel off the track view of progressive revelation from a Trinitarian point of view would probably be one of these things where they show where, or they claim that Jesus says that he is the I am, and then they go back to the Old Testament and try to redefine the word one and this Shema. They try to redefine that, and that's kind of backwards from progressive revelation. But it's
Sort of like regressive, retrogressive.
Retrogressive. Yeah, that's a good point though, because there's been this term is not used very much, and I've got alerts on my Google and on my YouTube to alert me anytime something comes up that has the words progressive revelation in it, because I'm studying it and I want to see. But Dawn, there are Trinitarian doctrines out there that use that term to describe the Trinity. I mean, they do. And that's one of the only other places that it's used out there right now. And again,
What term? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I'm lost. What? What are we talking about? What term?
I was introducing a parallel off the track, so to speak, in the weeds, running parallel to the truth is a view of progressive revelation that Trinitarians use when they read the words I am in the Gospel of John and attribute that to being Jesus claiming his deity.
Okay.
And then they go back to the Old Testament and redefine this Shema, the motto of the children of Israel, where the Lord is one, one
Right.
Lord,
right.
the Lord, there is no other,
Yep.
Shortest verse in the Bible, I can't remember it. Anyways. But anyways,
I'm pretty excited to.
They do it backwards.
They do it backwards.
And
Well, they have to, because they would have to do it backwards. There's no way around it. In order to prove a Trinity, you would have to go backwards.
Yeah.
Because the original quote-unquote religion was that there is one God. There's no way around that. And even in first century, nowhere did Jesus ever claim he was God, or that God said that this Jesus was him. Never, not once ever. In fact, I can almost say not even hinted in that. So they would have to go backwards on that one. Something else I'd like to point out regarding Trinitarian, if I had never been taught Unitarianism through Dr. Werewolf and all that kind of stuff, and I had been introduced to Bullinger, and I had to believe in a Trinity, the way in which he presents it, that's what I would have believed. I would have believed the way Bullinger presents it, because he has to separate the two, Jesus Christ and God. There is close relationship, but there's two separate, distinct entities. There's no way around that. So that's something else to. Oh, one other thing, because we're on the Trinity subject, and I kind of wanted to add, put that as you were sending out emails on this. Remember that our battle is not against the people who are Trinitarians. Our battle is it's a spiritual battle against that idiot trying to screw up everything. Okay, so remember that, because I have the tendency to get heated again. I am so anti-Trinitarianism, I could make a whole religion out of it. That's why I stay away from that subject, because that is a problem with me. I am so anti-Trinitarianism, so I have to watch that. And I've been fighting that for years, because I am so mad, I am so upset
Yeah.
that I could take it out on the people who are believing that, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself in that position, and I have done that. So I wanted to make sure that was communicated to you. So hope I did that okay, Don, because
This,
it's a
this,
very passionate subject to me.
yes, and because it's still a little fresh in how it has affected me and my schedule lately, I've been digging into it a little bit also, and
Yeah.
I found something that really changed my attitude a little bit. Like you were saying, it's not the people, it's the doctrine that we're against. We're not the people. They believe what they've been taught.
Right.
But here's this little. I want to read this. There was, you may have heard this. A little girl bought a plastic pearl necklace with some money she had been saving all year. She loved her pearls and felt so grown up when she wore them. She only took them off when she went swimming or took a bath. Though the pearls weren't real, that didn't matter to her because she had bought them all by herself. This little girl had a loving father. And one day he said to her, "Honey, you love me?" And she said, "Yes, Daddy." And she said, "You know I love you." And then he said, "Will you give me your pearls?" And she said, "Not my pearls." "Yes, but you can have my toy horse." "That's okay, sweetheart. I love you," he replied, and then he kissed her on the cheek. About a week later, this happened again. "Do you love me? Daddy, you know I love you." "Then will you give me your pearls?" And she said, "Not my pearls, but you can have my baby doll." "That's okay, that's okay. I love you," the father answered, and once again he gave her a kiss on the cheek. This routine happened again and again and again, and the little girl began to wonder if her daddy loves me. Why does he want to take away something I love? Then one day the little girl walked up to her father. I can't believe this. With tears in her eyes, and held out her fake pearl necklace. "Here, Daddy, this is for you." The father reached out a hand, took the necklace, and with his
Aw.
hang on,
Aw.
with his other hand, he reached into his pocket,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
pulled out a velvet case, genuine pearls, and gave it to his father.
Beautiful.
He had those pearls all along. He was just waiting for his daughter to give up what she had so thought that he wanted. He was waiting for his daughter to give up what she had so that he could give her something even better.
Awesome.
Totally awesome, bud.
That's really cool.
And of course, the necklace is the doctrine of the Trinity that has been made up and has been so consuming of the church.
Yeah.
We would just let go of it. There is so much better waiting in the other hand, so to speak. And
Real pearls. Beautiful.
That's why we love you, Dawn. Your beautiful heart.
The relationship between that and what God does for us is just off the chart. That's beautiful, God.
It is. Thank you.
I didn't think it would take that long to get to.
Oh, that's. Aw.
I know the feeling, my brother.
Yep.
Yeah, people think that when you get closer to Christ that you get less emotional, but the opposite is true. You get more.
I know.
No, the world desensitizes you because of all the corrupt lies, and you just put up that wall. But when you get into Christ, you get resensitized the way God meant human beings to be. And it's being able to understand a beautiful poem like that with what God has done with us is just, that shows your heart for Christ, my friend. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know. Sometimes I wonder, like, am I being a huge sap? Am I being a wimp? Because I'm crying over all the stuff that I never used to cry over. Like, man. But yeah, I know that what you said is true. So I just kind of figured, well, it's almost proving to myself that, you know, I have this relationship that I never had before, because before I wouldn't have cried over it, you know, because I wasn't that close to God. I just kind of knew about Him.
Yep. You were desensitized. That's, yeah. Yep, I can testify that one big time. I was a rugged old man one time. Now I'm a sensitive little wimp for Jesus. If I'm going to be a wimp, I want to be a wimp.
We just keep loving them. You know.
I have to say, though.
But we have to keep telling them, too, what's
That's
available.
right. Yeah, that's what love is.
You know, show them something better.
Right.
Love is not speaking the truth. Love is speaking the truth. It says, speak the truth in love. I mean, you can't separate them. You can't do that. We had a wonderful discussion on our way through the desert about speaking the truth. You got to speak the truth. That's love. It's not love to hold back the truth. That's deception.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not agreeing. Love is not agreeing with everybody.
No.
Compromise.
Absolutely. No.
Yep. That is the truth. That's a good one.
And then I was, if you read that or in light of Jeremiah 2:13, where it says, "My people have committed two evils. They've forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water." That is all talking about idolatry, serving other gods. That's the context. Because Jeremiah lived during some of the most evil kings of Israel, well, of Judah, and that was their big ugly that was around their neck. They were forsaking God, and they were worshiping all these other gods and doing all this other stuff, and I think this doctrine of the Trinity is just right up there in that category.
Well, it is. I mean, even think about the book of Revelation and the unveiling of the Antichrist. He sits in the temple of God, proclaiming that he is God. I mean, gee, many Christians, how much more can it be expressed? That's about the epitome of evil.
Yeah,
and people,
you know, and then you put mix pride into that, because pride, you know, the middle word of pride is I, and the church will not humble themselves to the scriptures. They're stuck in the Trinity, and it's nothing but a mud hole. And they're not going to get out until they let somebody pull them out. And they have to humble themselves to the scriptures. And I listen to these guys on the radio who are so-called experts, and, you know, I mean, and they just, they say that the doctrine of the Trinity is, well, we just can't budge on that. There are other things they can budge on, like when's Jesus coming back, preterism, you know, all this, some of these kind of things. They can fudge around with the scriptures about that. That's not going to, divide the church, blah, blah, blah. But it will. But anything that's not true is going to be divisive when the truth is made known.
Right.
But you got to keep speaking it. You got to keep speaking
You can't help it.
it. Oh, I know.
Once you got it, you can't. It's just you can't go back. Really, I
Not on my watch.
mean.
And then I got to read.
Go back too.
Then I got to reading all those I am scriptures. I just thought I'd do a little pretend that I was a Trinitarian and try to study the Trinity and do a usual search on stuff, and there's when the class teaches that to believe in the Trinity you have to you cannot have the laws of language, logic, reason, and scripture. You have to get rid of all four of those, and it's absolutely true because there's not one little iota of logic in that entire thing. It's just incredible. And those I am scriptures, they're so butchered. I mean, half of them, Jesus is claiming to be the Messiah. One time he's claiming to be Jesus of Nazareth, and they somehow twist that to make it sound like he is emphasizing his deity. He's Jesus from Nazareth. I mean, just read the context. And you don't have to go far, a couple verses. Sometimes it's in the same verse.
Well, God says clearly that no man has seen him at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, right there. And praying in the garden,
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to himself. And so deeply that he's crying.
Well, even right in their definition of the Trinity, it says they're all equal. And we know the Bible specifically and very clearly says that Jesus said that his Father is greater than he is. How do they handle that one? I mean,
Well, they were just trying to outdo the Search commercial. In Search, it was two myths in one. They had three gods in one.
and they admit there's three persons. They admit there's three persons. But together they're the same essence.
Right.
Oh my! It's kind of like you were talking in your teaching there, Michael, about how they'd build up the apostles to God's three elements, just make them bigger than life than they really were. I mean, they're pretty awesome because of their walk and how they listened to God and did what He asked them to do, and because of that, signs, miracles, wonders followed them, and they became leaders. But then they got religiosity took over, and these people they start making them bigger than life. It's almost like athletics. You go to a stadium and they have all their heroes on the side of the building now. Their heads are like 6 stories tall. Like the guy's 6'3", right? Okay, he's human. He eats cereal for breakfast, whatever. He wears tennis shoes. He's a guy, but no, he's our hero. No.
First of all, if you make Jesus Christ God, then you start deifying these people that you read about. Then that walk becomes unattainable. You become a servant of the Most High with your head down to the ground and no relationship. The same way that the Jews did when they put the word Lord in for Yahweh, because they couldn't picture being associated with God in a relationship type manner, because they were they weren't like their father Abraham or David the Great. They did the same thing. It's not a new concept. The devil's very unoriginal.
Mm.
But it is the same idea that you set this thing up to where you can't attain it, and then you can't participate the way God wants for His people to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not the ex cathedra,
Mm-hmm.
then the papa, you're not, you don't have all the say, and that's just crazy. And it does the same thing, and we've done the same thing with the gift ministries and different things. We've elevated those human beings so high, instead of realizing they are servants of the body.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. But I had to read that thing
Beautiful.
on the necklace. That was just so cool. Because that's just how a loving father would be. I mean, that I can just see that.
Oh, and I felt it. I felt it in my life when you were reading it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes you so humbling,
Mm-hmm.
because, gosh, how many pearls I've rejected until I could have had when I was just a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it.
Right. One of the ladies in our chat group, Catherine, she was posting stuff, and one of those was Korn, the lead singer from Korn. Do you know that band I'm talking about? It's like
Yeah.
you don't know Korn?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. It
But
was
a Christian group or a non-Christian group?
Oh, non-Christian, that's for sure. Yeah, it was like between hard metal and alternative, and it was an extremely popular thing, band. And so, but this video that Catherine posted was of him talking about how he's just wasted so much time. He's turned his life over to Christ now, and he gave up all that fame and fortune from that, and because he heard his daughter singing the lyrics from one of his songs, and he did not like it. And so, I mean, it was really cool in his interview that he said, he's like, I'm just spending every moment of time that I can now because I've already wasted enough time. I'm spending as much time as I can now doing the right thing and learning about God and doing the right thing. So I thought that was amazing because I did know the band Korn. I did know what their music said. So I thought it was really awesome. It was really awesome.
Cool.
From the mouth of babes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, the lyrics were, all day I dream about sex. And that's what the little girl was singing.
That'll turn you around in a hurry.
Yeah, right?
What?
That'll turn your head around in a hurry.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he didn't like hearing his daughter. He knew his daughter didn't know what she was singing, didn't know what she was talking about, but, he's getting back into music again now, but it's about Jesus, it's about, good stuff, and so now his daughter will be, singing good lyrics if she's repeating anything. So.
Yeah, Brad Paisley, he's a country singer. He does a song, and it's called "I Want to Be Just Like You, Dad," and it's definitely more on the Christian basis, but it's very heartfelt.
I love Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
I like that one Stepfather song he had too.
Yeah.
That he didn't have to be. You know what song I'm talking about, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard it sung quite like that, but yes, I know.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys are well
career there.
Huh?
You might have a new career there, Chandra.
Yeah.
Anybody want to share next week?
Uh,
I'm going to follow up on that Peter thing then.
yeah, why don't you just follow up on that? That'll be good.
Okay.
Then maybe I can have something ready with the week after. How's that?
All right, brother.
Or Alan. I don't know what his schedule's like, but I can put something together.
All right.
You did tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we could just break it there and use that one for next week. That was beautiful.
I made you your chocolates, Monica.
Thank you.
Anything for you. What's up with your belly button showing? What's up? What's up with this?
Short.
It's Bill.
Oh, she did that all the way back to Texas.
I can't do that in real life.
Vicariously living through your cartoon. I understand.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, ooh, a little sexy there, Monica. You're like, really? Anyways, it's cute. All right, love you guys.
Love you too. Good night.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.